Okay, so I spent about a month with the M4 Pro MacBook Pro with the full intention of coming back a week after unboxing it and actually giving out my review. But after about a week, I decided I needed a little bit longer to be able to do all of the testing that I wanted to do. And now I feel like I'm there. I can actually come out with this video now. I've used this laptop every day, from web surfing to editing and exporting 4K timelines on Premiere Pro, and I've found things that I like and some things that I think that Apple could probably improve on in the next MacBook Pro generations. I'm gonna go ahead and divide this video into 5 different parts: why I upgraded, the specs of the laptop that I got, because I definitely did not get the maxed out version, the things that I really like about the laptop, the things that I don't like about the laptop, and last, of course, is it worth you guys upgrading to the M4 MacBook Pro lineup? And you can skip through this video using the chapters that I place in the video, or you can watch all the way through to help boost that algorithm. So let's get into it. Now, to give you guys perspective here on the main #1 reason why I upgraded, I will now introduce you to my old laptop. This is the 2016 MacBook Pro with Touch Bar. At this time, this was the best of the best, and not only the first laptop that I bought with my own money, it was also the first Apple computer that I ever purchased. This laptop has an Intel Core i7 with a 1TB hard drive, 16GB of RAM. This laptop was a powerhouse. It is now super slow and the battery dies around 50%, and I don't know about you, but as a person who video edits and edits photos, I think that having a laptop where Lightroom and Premiere won't crash would probably be a good thing. So why didn't I ever update to the other laptops? I mean, there's almost 10 years of laptops between when I got this laptop and now. Well, for one, I'm not made of money, and 2, I was planning on getting the M3 MacBook Pro, but when it came time for me to do it, Apple announced the M4 chips in the new iPads. So I ended up waiting for the right time with the announcement of the M4 chip family, which leads me to the specs of the new M4 MacBook Pro that I purchased. Fun fact, this is the first pre-order that I've ever done for any product. This MacBook Pro is the 14-inch space black version. It's rocking the M4 Pro chip with 24GB of RAM, 2TB of storage. I also decided not to get the nano texture display because of the upkeep. I don't like the fact that I have to use a specific microfiber cloth, and I don't want to worry about accidentally scratching the display and ruining it for the next 10 years that I'm gonna be owning this laptop. Also, I heard it mutes the colors, and I'd rather play it safe and just have a little more glare. I decided to downsize from the 15-inch to the 14-inch because in my brain, the idea of a laptop is to be a portable computer, and the 14-inch would be more portable for me than going up a size to the 16-inch. For example, I was barely able to fit my 15-inch MacBook Pro in my camera bag, which would make me end up having to carry a separate bag for my laptop and the charger and all of the dongles, because it only had USB-C ports and no SD card slot. Now I can easily fit my new laptop into my camera bag, which means that I no longer have to have the second bag with me. Which brings me to the things that I like about the MacBook Pro. Portability is a huge thing for me, but does it work for what I need it to do? The short answer is yes. I've done small tasks like writing emails and watching YouTube videos, and I've also done some pretty tasking things, from editing photos and with Lightroom and Photoshop to editing and exporting a 4K timeline in Premiere Pro. The last video I made unboxing and reviewing the iPhone 16 Plus was completely edited and exported on the new MacBook Pro. It only took about 3 minutes to export a 6-minute 4K timeline, which, coming from a laptop that I had before where I couldn't even open Premiere Pro, is a huge jump. True, I still do have the M1 Mac Mini. It still runs great, and I usually use it to edit all of my videos, but it's the portability factor that I need for when I'm taking trips or just need to change from scenery from just sitting at my desk. The battery life is also a big thing for me. Being that my old laptop would die at around 50%, I wanted something that would be reliable, and this laptop did not disappoint. With an average workload, it took me about a day and a half to be able to kill the battery completely. And with the heavy workload, I got at least about 6 hours. And when I put it on the charger, I got it to charge from 5% to 50% in about 25 minutes. Of course, as with all of the battery testing that I do for these videos, your mileage may vary. A couple more things to point out before I get into the things that I don't like. The new laptops as well as the new iMac come with a new feature with the camera called Desk View. Basically, you can set the camera to record a top-down view of your hands. I think that the reason why I find this impressive is because you don't have to angle the camera down, and you can also record yourself while it's happening. I'm not sure what I would use this feature for, maybe like a on-the-go unboxing video. Let me know in the comment section down below what you would use that feature for. The keyboard on the new laptop is great, coming from the keyboard that I had with the old laptop that I had to get replaced because when I would type, say I was going to press the letter B, it would double or triple whatever I decided to hit. This was due to the type of keys that they used in that series. I can't forget to mention how loud they were. They would annoy anyone around me. Seriously, listen to the difference between my old one and the new one. Am I right? The new laptop has USB Type-C, which I think we're all getting used to now, but it also has an SD card slot and an HDMI port that I no longer have to carry with me in the form of a dongle, which is a plus on space saving and that portability thing I was telling you about. Now, on to the things that I don't like or I think that Apple really needs to improve on. First would be the finish of the laptop. I got the space black version and it looks great. The fingerprints aren't too noticeable and I love the look coming from the space gray and I think it was a really good idea, but it scratches super easily. From stories of the area around the port scratching up from every time you miss trying to put the USB-C in, and from my experience, I wear a bracelet and it scratches up the side next to the trackpad. True, you can wipe off the scratches because they aren't deep, but still every time I see that, I get really worried that I messed it up that time. I've even gotten to the point where I'll put a napkin under my wrist so that it wouldn't damage it. Oh, just take off the bracelet. No, I shouldn't have to do that to not scratch up my expensive laptop that I paid a bunch of money for. Now, one of the main fixes that you could probably use for this is probably like a skin from dbrand. I'm not sponsored by dbrand. I don't even own a dbrand skin, but if dbrand wants to send me one and collaborate on a future video, let me know. One thing that I don't like is when a brand sells something on a promise. For example, when this laptop and all of the other items that Apple launched this year came out, Apple sold it on the promise that Apple Intelligence was going to change the way that we use our tech. And where some of the features have been released, I haven't seen any of the life-changing elements that Apple promised to come to life yet. Now, if you've watched this channel before, you would already know that I'm not too big of a fan of AI at all. But I am a fan of tech and how it can be integrated into our lives. So I'm still waiting to see all of the features that were announced by Apple. The other thing that isn't really a dislike, but more of an interesting thing that I found about this laptop is that it can get warm. I'm not saying like burn your legs hot, but like just warm. And from what I can see from other reviews on YouTube, it's because it's the 14-inch and it's not having as much airflow as the 16-inch, but it's good to know that I'm not the only one having that issue. Don't get me wrong, none of the things that I dislike about this laptop weren't a return at all. In fact, the things that I like about it definitely outweigh the things that I don't. So is upgrading to the new M4 MacBook Pro worth it? The short answer is yes. The speed and battery life alone are enough for me to warrant an upgrade. Of course, the situation that you're in matters to the situation. In my opinion, if you're still using an Intel-based MacBook Pro, it's most definitely time to upgrade. And this is the generation that I believe was worth the wait. If you're still using an M1, I would think that you could upgrade if you wanted to, but you don't really need to. I currently have an M1 Mac Mini and it's still running like a champ. Doesn't mean I'm not going to upgrade to the newest Mac Mini. As for the people who have the M2 and M3s, I don't think that you really need to upgrade unless you really want to, and you can justify spending the money for the same computer with a new chip. At least Apple has that buyback program and you get a little bit off on it. Overall, Apple did a great job with this laptop and with the M4 chip family as a whole. I'm excited to continue using this laptop and see how hard I can push it. I don't like upgrading my computers all of the time. I mean, it took me almost 9 years to upgrade my laptop to this one, so I hope that this laptop was a good investment for the next 9 years. Let me know in the comments if you purchased a new one or your reason why you're not upgrading. I hang out in the comments all the time, so I'm excited to hear what you have to say. If you like this video, give it a like. If you really like this video, hit that subscribe button. Consider joining the family. Thanks for watching. I'll see you guys next time. Stay classy. Bye. I got a plant. It's fake though. Really getting on that YouTube status with this fake plant. All right.